Hope didn't miss anything. I mean, this has only been going for 25 minutes. In fact, 15 minutes, because 10 of that was the timer. So no, not really. Although we are about... We already can. Did I miss it? No, I didn't miss a month. It's just a heck of a lot earlier for some reason. Oh, maybe after the arms shipment. Does that just reset things? Right, let's invest in London. Let's invest in Sussex. Let's invest in Gloucestershire. And I think East Anglia? East Anglia needs to be 60, Lancashire needs to be 60, Sussex needs to be 75, as does London. So Gloucestershire is already 60. Lancashire we've actually lost control of. So let's do another propaganda campaign there. Let's do a propaganda campaign here. I don't know if state stability is going to have any impact on these areas. I don't think they are. So let's expand you to a 3. Let's just straight up increase you. Increase you as well. So at this point, I think I can just stop investments in Oxfordshire. I don't need to do any more. Cool. Yeah, we still got 2,000 guns. Sweet! Could those expenditures be your overheads? Possibly. But overheads on what? I mean, the civilian spending is the public health care, public education, police, etc. We don't really have any control over that. Other expenditures for, like, the other nations, like Iberia has been like 100 million. It's never been 9.4 billion before. So I'm fairly sure that is reparations to Germany. I mean, it's got to be. Okay, we have 0 construction spending now. And in fact, we could also decrease these budgets. Because why not? Should probably have been doing that throughout, actually. Okay, they will speak of Sussex. Oh, Sussex gets 15 stability from that bugger. Which is going to make Operation Loud and Clear that much easier. Sussex, aside from Coventry, will be hard-pressed to find a more accursed part of England. Must be why Sterling loves the place. Loves the food, the atmosphere, the silly little traitors running around like headless chickens after we blow up a convoy. Sussex is also the linchpin of the control in southern English coast by default. And if we can secure it for the HMMLR, we might just be able to give more military-minded lads an edge in the day of reckoning. Of course, we need to be careful not to attract the garrison's attention. The traitors might be something of a joke when faced with our people, but the Germans only leave their best on our isle. Sterling says he likes a challenge, but even he knows his bravado goes only so far. So Sussex at this point is a what? 45. So this will get us up to a 60. And Sussex needs to be 75. So no, we do still need to invest in Sussex. Okay. I like how strategic you approach this. Just did propaganda campaign and cool down every time. Fair enough. I mean, my strategy here is all about just getting as many guns through as I possibly can while we have strong positions in the north, and we still do. King Farouk is dead. Farouk the First of Egypt is... Oh no, this is not... This is different event type. This is normal accent. Has been reported dead by joint statements from Cairo and Rome. Notorious for extremely lavish lifestyle in recent years, he's gone on tours, trips and benders of increasing cost and intensity, almost bringing Egypt to bankruptcy through his partying alone. He has now died the way he lived, gouging himself on all kinds of luxuries. It is doubtless Egypt will now face troubled times with the death of their king, but some certainly also praise the loss of a man who made them foot the bill time and time again. Others suspect that perhaps he was poisoned by would-be usurpers, but currently the primary belief is he simply ate too much. Can we do broken telephone? No. We've already done it. Oh, right. Oxfordshire stability needs to be 60. I totally forgot. Yeah, it is 60. Above 60. Okay, it's above 60. Is that just refreshed? It's refreshed everything again. Why? Oh no, it hasn't. It was just East Anglia, which I think we'd already said no point investing in. East Anglia needs 60. It's currently on 55. So yes, we do need to invest in East Anglia. One more time. Now, is that 60 or above 60? Above 70. Oh gosh, this needs to be 80. Okay. Okay, Sussex has been completed. Now, Operation Bad Morning. And for that we will need London's state stability to be higher. It would be easy if we told ourselves that the traitors were all rotten from the start, but that isn't so. No matter what some of the Reds think, sad fact is that most of the lads we fight don't know better. Which is why it's all the more important that we get the ones who knew what an occupation of England would mean and went ahead anyway. Gerald Templar fought with distinction for Britain in the First War with Germany. Shame he couldn't have kept his spine for the Second. Bastard was amongst those who signed the treaty, and no matter how many hints had been dropped his way, he's never shown an interest in the cause. It's a big risk, but we know his driver, and if we can smuggle a present into his car, we might just strike a blow for the entire world to see. Alright, let's give him a rude awakening. Did this mod get an update? No. Not for a while. At least not that I know of. Sayers wants me to drink some tea. Okay then. And we're back to the upgrades, and man, they've been hitting us hard. I'll be taking that back, I'll be taking that back, and I'll be taking that back. Thank you. So I think I'm going to bring you up to this. East Anglia has now definitely fallen to them. So below 27% it's no longer neutral. Below probably 30% actually. Same way as when it's above 70 it's ours. So London needs investment in infrastructure. Oxfordshire doesn't. Sussex does. Gloucestershire does. Wiltshire doesn't, but I think I want to invest in occupying. East Midlands is already done. You're already a +3, you're already a +3. I mean, we may as well just do propaganda campaigns. Okay. And yeah, we are gaining political power. East Anglia needs to be above 60, Sussex above 75, so East Anglia needs to be a 65. East Anglia could do with one more investment. Okay. Oh, debt is now higher than GDP. First time. Alright, Operation Bad Morning and weapons and tactical support have all finished. So let's work on Operation Look Up. No, let's do East Anglia first. Montague Stopford. The name even sounds right for a bloody traitor. Well, the problem with killing the bugger is he's a bit paranoid. What kind of man swaps hotels at the last minute just because there was a storm? We wasted 3 perfectly good grenades on that bed. To top off the problem, he's well aware of the commando's weaknesses. He's just about the only traitor who's given us a bloody nose. But the boss wants him gone, and Sterling has been the one set to do it. It seems the unfortunate fellow is set to inspect some new recruits to the traitor cause. It would be such a damn shame if one of them were to misfire. And we need research, so we are getting the most modern of those. Let's go for the AT, I guess. Although at some point we also want to get 1960s close air support and fighters. But this one is land doctrines. Okay. Has the music player died again? Yes, this is Nuke Atmosphere, which is just silence. That song makes me so paranoid about when it comes up. Alright, now I'm going to start researching the better 1960s aircraft. Let's go for the CAS first. Am I building the Royal Navy up? No. I'm not really building anything because I don't know what I should be building. It feels weird not actually controlling... being the Resistance and yet still having control of all of the British forces. Central Siberian Republic declared war on the Principality of Kemerovo. I do feel like playing as the HMMLR should just give you like a single province, like up here in Northumbria. Maybe Newcastle. And then from there you have control of everything else. And then the Kingdom of England has its own separate thing, because then you'd have separate technologies and everything. Government mission London. Completed. They're just eradicating any support that we may have had there, but that's okay. Free State of Magadan declared war on the all-Russian government of Amur. Oh, we can move again. So let's do... infrastructure. HMMLR. Did the wrong one for Lancashire, actually. Drat. 7. Just doing this one. Just doing that one. East Midlands. 1 more of those. Gloucestershire is getting stability. London is getting stability. Sussex is getting stability. Wiltshire is getting a boost. OFN relations right now are low, so let's reach out to the US politicians just to keep that ticking over. Yeah, losing Lancaster like that was silly. Should have just immediately boosted it again. Because now it's going to be that much harder to get back. Operation Inspection, done. So let's get Operation Look Up. The fascists have something of an advantage over the HMMLR in terms of air capacity. We rely entirely on what few pilots are sympathetic to the revolutionary cause within the RAF, whilst they have the bulk of the Air Force under lock and key. On top of that, we've been tasked by Auchinleck with removing one of the more competent fascist generals, a Michael Carver, from the table. But an opportunity has arisen to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, for the fascist general is set to give a speech following the inspection of several planes donated by the Reich. New planes with a fearsome capacity for destruction. The revolution would be well served to be rid of them, and a few sabotaged engines and a kill team hiding amongst the aircrews should take care of the fascist and the aircraft alike. Torachi coming in with a 5-month resubscription with Prime. Thank you very much for the ongoing support there, Torachi. Thank you. 5 months, 5-month resub. Thank you. So Bad Morning requires their stability. That one can be done. That'll stop James Castles being a general. Death of Prime Minister Plaek Phinsong Kram. Plaek Phinsong Kram was a war hero and Prime Minister of Thailand, has died for medical reasons concerning a stroke that occurred last year, which left the left side of his body paralysed. Phibun, an advocate and entrepreneur of fascism and ethno-nationalism in East Asia, has a mixed legacy abroad, and even so more in the minds of his own citizens. During his reign, Thailand expanded into a regional power unto itself, a titan of Southeast Asia, conquering lands and peoples abroad. However, the lingering effects of his questionable economic policies, his subordination to the Japanese, and his haphazard race towards modernization have all been brought into question the inability of his leadership. Have brought into question the infallibility of his leadership. King Rama of Thailand has declared a period of mourning to last 67 days over Phinsong Kram's death, following which he will appoint a new Prime Minister to take the reins. Terror for the sake of love. Sarat Thanarat, appointed Prime Minister of Thailand. After the death of Marshal Phinsong Kram, King Rama has officially granted the post of Prime Minister to Field Marshal Thanarat. The new Prime Minister, steadfast and determined, has pledged to transform Thailand into a formidable power in Southeast Asia, drawing observation from across the globe, promising to introduce overhauling reforms to the economy and proudly declaring that Thailand is open for business. Prime Minister Thanarat seeks to reform the nation to become an economic capital of Asia. Moreover, despite pressures from constitutionalists, Thanarat pledges to return dignity to the monarchy by restoring several executive powers to the king. The new Prime Minister's government of Thailand dances between innovation and tradition, striking a balance that is sure to gather particular attention from the kingdom's enemies and allies alike. We dream of our own Thailand. No, that was not 67 days already. Otherwise I would have missed like 3 clicks of these buttons. And that wouldn't have been alright. That would have been most disagreeable. Operation Look Up. Done. Operation Loud and Clear. Bernard Montgomery was once our greatest champion. Now he's a symbol of the collaborationist regime, second to none. He signed the treaty with Germany following the fall of London, and he was the man who ordered Auchinleck to lay down his arms personally. His death is not something that can be argued against. It must happen and must be done swiftly. The man might be old, but he has a fearsome mind for tactics. Montgomery intends to take a brief trip to Cornwall to reconnoitre with the garrison command there. It is up to the HMMLR to ensure he never reaches that destination. As a final note, Auchinleck has requested that he not suffer unduly. Okay. Begin. And Witty has gifted a sub to Sayers. Thank you very much for that, Witty. Much appreciate it. Thank you. Sayers, congrats on the gifted sub. Alright, like 5 days? 6 days? 1 day. Until I can invest again. So this is going to be another boop for London. And for Sussex. And for Gloucester. And we've taken the West Midlands. It's ours. You can't have it. Taking Lancaster back. Going for the West Midlands. Going for the Severn Estuary. Going for Wiltshire. Not bothering to contend any of them. And can we do any of the operations? Yes, we can do look up, can't we? Cost 250 guns. Michael Carver will be injured and unable to command. Boop. So, one more month and we should be able to hit London too. Should be good. So we have just Sussex, London, and Gloucester, and they all need to be 75s. Sussex will be next time. You'll be next time. You'll be next time. Brilliant. Ikeda elected Prime Minister of Japan. Following a power struggle in the wake of Hiroya Ino's resignation from the Japanese Prime Ministership, Ikeda Manosuke has risen to the top of the Diet's candidates. A staunch conservative, Ikeda has presented himself as a compromise in the Diet and within his own faction, uniting the pre-war conservatives with the Riken Sayukai, as well as defectors from Admiral Tagaki's liberals. Ikeda himself has been open with his vision, namely cleansing the corruption and administrative inefficiency that has plagued the Ino era, as well as starting the gradual reform of the Japanese state. While many have criticised him for doing too little too late, others have also praised him for his moderation. And wow, the government counterattack just took everything back again. Oh, West Midlands can be taken. As can Yorkshire. And let's go and ensure that we keep Newcastle. Yeah, Lancashire has become a bit of a battleground, unfortunately. OFN relations non-existent. What's been costing me political power? I think it's just that I've not been getting any. Alright, loud and clear is done. Let's move on to down the rabbit hole. Bill Alexander has operated in the south of England for longer than just about anyone. He knows the lay of the land and has explained to the HMMLR High Command that it's impractical to just throw men at Cornwall and expect to get anywhere. A careful approach must be taken to neutralise them. Subvert their men, kill the competent, bribe the weak-minded, and sabotage what we can't steal. This approach has limits, of course, but we might be capable of getting more in the long term this way. If we get the right sort of people on our side in Truro, we might even find an opportunity to deal some permanent damage. The kind that even the soulless Germans cannot recover from. How long until the next... Oh, we can do it. Oxfordshire. No, not Oxfordshire. Never mind, we can't. One more month, one more month, one more month, one more month. Witty wants me to drink some tea. Alright then. Alright then. Three, two, one. And we're in. London. Sussex. Gloucestershire. Oh, they actually took down stability a bit. Beef you up. Beef you up. You're already on our side. You're already on our side. Alright, I think that my attempts have started to pay dividends now, as we're starting to secure more of the North and the Midlands. And we should have some operations which are available. Bad morning for one. and loud and clear. Let's take out Monty first. In fact, we can do them both. There we are. These are very gun expensive, though. Because that was 500 right there. We'll reach out to the US politicians again. No longer get austerity. I guess we'll continue doing those. Because we're not paying for anything right now. Okay, pay them enough. The German garrison in Cornwall is, for the most part, well-trained, well-disciplined, and ruthlessly efficient, but every army has its weak links. In the case of the garrison, it would appear that many of the lower-ranking officers are of dubious loyalty to their vaunted fatherland, and more open to taking bribes in return for looking the other way in regards to certain actions. The stealing of equipment, or not patrolling a section of the beaches for an hour or two. Truly, the revolution is no greater ally than the incompetence of the fascists. We will render the garrison in Cornwall a lackluster ally to the traitor king. Here's hoping he quakes in his boots when he realises it. Oh, they reduced Yorkshire's stability a tiny bit too. Irritating. So the only place that now needs stability is Yorkshire, right? Is Gloucestershire, right? I think so. Yes. Oh, even with reaching out to the US, we're still non-existent. So I think that we can't get any more OFN equipment from now on. It's done. We deal with what we have.